How do you book 150 appointments plus per month through outreach? Sounds like a big number to most, and what I'm about to share with you in this video is really the principles and the foundations for generating that many appointments. This will still work for you if you don't want to generate 150, maybe you only want to generate one a day, maybe you want to generate more than 150. Regardless, it's about the principles that you set up that allow this to be a controllable metric in your business, because that's ideally what we want. We want to be able to control this extremely important metric. If you don't know who I am, my name is Laurence. I've built and scaled 2 agencies, Laurence Marketing, and now we help other agencies to grow their business by putting appointments onto their calendar. How do we control this metric of appointments? It's a kind of business nirvana, I guess, that people want to get to be able to control and choose how many appointments they generate, and therefore choose and control how many clients they generate each week or each month, and therefore choose and control how much money they make each week, each month, each year. You've got to first start off with the foundations, because you need to treat your agency, or your agency outreach at least, as a building. And if you have shaky foundations, then it's not going to either work well or work for very long. It's going to break quickly, basically. First thing we need to consider is, do you have enough accounts in order to make the volume of outreach that you need to? And when I say accounts, it can be a number of things. The number of things really depends on what form of outreach you're doing. So let's take cold messaging through social media, and let's take email as an example. With sending cold messages from social media, do you have enough social media accounts to send out the volume that you're going to need to generate the number of appointments that you want? Every single account is going to be capped at the number of cold messages that you can send per day. And the same is true with email as well. There's only so many emails you can send per day before that email address starts to kind of break and your message starts to land in spam and it doesn't work. There's a cap on how well it can work, basically. So do you have the required volume of accounts to achieve the volume that you need? If I'm to hazard a guess, the answer is probably no. For 99% of people that we work with, if they've tried it before, the biggest thing that they've kind of failed on is they just haven't done enough of it. Or they've like, I've tried this and it didn't work. Okay, well, how many emails did you send out? Well, I sent out 200 emails. I didn't get a call booked. Okay, well, there's probably not enough volume. So you need to make sure that you've got the foundations in place in order to be able to send that volume. First point is the foundations, and then the second, as you may have guessed it, is that volume. How many are we sending? What you want to do is track your numbers very carefully to understand how many you need to send in order to generate a positive response and to generate a meeting booked in the calendar, because that is ultimately the goal, and the objective of this is to get calls into the calendar. Everybody's numbers are going to be different, and the biggest contributing factor to that difference is how compelling your offer is. The more compelling your offer is, the easier you're going to find your outreach. But in response to that, also, if you create a really compelling offer, the harder the service delivery is going to be. So there's a trade-off that you've got to pay for somewhere along the lines. So you want to figure out where you sit on that spectrum. And if you can't create an extremely cold, friendly, enticing offer, then you probably have a service delivery issue, not an offer issue. It's just that your business isn't able to create that compelling offer. So we want to make sure that the volume is right. As I say, it can vary massively what your response rates are, and also your response rates will be impacted by your volume. So the more emails that you send, unfortunately, as a general rule, that response rate is going to dip, just because of, as I mentioned, the number of accounts, etc. It's going to have an impact on deliverability and things like that. I think you can grow and build a $1 million business with a 0.5% conversion rate from leads contacted to meetings booked. So that means that for every 200 people that you reach out to, one person books in a call. They're not ideal numbers, but you can still have a wildly successful business with those metrics. Tracking and measuring those metrics is going to be really important, so you understand what your personal metrics are, and then you can later go forward and choose to send out a certain number of emails or cold messages or whatever it may be each day in order to attract and book in that many appointments. So the third thing that you're going to need to get appointments on your calendar is a solid offer. There's lots of talk about what a solid offer is, but ultimately you're going to need to reverse risk for your clients or your prospects at this stage. You're going to need to reverse risk. And the reason you need to do that when it comes to cold messaging is because they don't know who you are. And when most agencies, they get their clients through referrals and word of mouth. And what happens is they become comfortable with that language in their business. They don't have a cold friendly offer because they don't need one. But when you are landing in someone's DMs, or you're landing in someone's inbox and they don't have a clue who you are, the level of trust is extremely low. So you need to be able to kind of bridge that gap and build trust by removing risk for your prospect. Only when you remove risk will you get any real traction in your cold outreach. If you don't remove risk, no point doing outreach. Every man and his dog is doing outreach, and unless you're able to stand out inside the inbox, inside the direct messages by using a very compelling offer, unfortunately, it's just not going to work. So your offer combined with your volume and your accounts, the number of kind of your foundations, are going to really have a massive impact on your number of booked meetings every single week or what. The last thing that you're going to need is to make sure that your follow-up is kind of strong enough. And when I say follow-up, what I don't mean is having automated emails going out to people, because everybody should be having automated emails go out after that kind of first initial message. You might have 3, 4, 5 follow-up emails, whatever it may be. The follow-up that I'm talking about is when somebody responds to a message in a positive way. So they have responded and say, sounds great, let's book in a call. And you'll be surprised at the number of people that say that, even though you made it very clear on your email that if you are interested, click here to book in a call. But a lot of people will say, yeah, sounds great, or they might ask a question that kind of shows you that they are interested. The follow-up for these people is extremely important, because these are your lowest hanging fruits. And if you don't kind of give them the energy and the attention that they deserve, then you're going to let kind of meetings slip through the net, basically. There's lots of different ways that you can follow up, and we would recommend that you use all of them in your arsenal. Calling, texting, emailing, just do whatever you can to get these people on the phone. And we want to do it quickly. The lifespan of an inbox is extremely short. So let's say, for example, you receive an email 3 days ago from a complete stranger. The likelihood of you remembering that in 72 hours is extremely low. So we need to be kind of following up in very kind of aggressively and quickly, close to that initial message being received from that prospect. If you haven't booked in a call with them kind of in the first 7 days, you're probably not going to book in a call. So you want to be communicating with them on a daily basis, trying to get that call booked in. So that's the strategies and the foundations that you need to put into your business if you want to improve your outreach and get, as I say, whether it's 1 meeting a day, whether it's 10 meetings a day, but basically the goal is to be able to control that metric and be able to turn that dial up and down, basically. So if you've got value from this video, then hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll be sending you many more videos like this. And if you want help putting these systems into your business so you're able to control not only the number of meetings, but the number of clients and the amount of money that you make in your agency, then click the link in the description and we will jump on a call and we'll explain exactly how we can help put these systems into your business and grow your agency. So thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.